mid-market male down the hallway, and he's on his phone. Mark Sykes and I were walking through the restroom just a second ago. We got a mid-market guy in front of us, and he's obviously closing the big power table deal, and walks right into the women's restroom. Sykes was like, "Hey," I was like, "Ooh, just let him go." Sure enough, he comes right out. I got a nice picture of it. So if he's ever in the Hall of Fame, Gerard. So this year we're here to celebrate 3 prominent figures in the twilight of their careers. These gentlemen. See? Now you're getting it. Hey now. These gentlemen, the 3 of them, all 3 of them, shaped my Saturdays and Sundays with football. And if this doesn't work, we're going to have a big problem. Where's Sparky with his AOL account? So these guys left their careers this year. Vern, Brent, and Boomer. Oh shit, where's Annie? This is from last week's Commentator of the Year award. These 3 all retired from... Sorry guys, let me fix this. Actually, I'm just kidding, I had it. Actually, we are here to celebrate 3 amazing individuals tonight, and I'm very excited about the next hour and a half, and hopefully I won't screw it up too bad, given the weather has already kind of started that out with us. But you guys may recognize this room, and I've told the story a little bit, but the reason we chose this, John and I had a meeting here, an A&AE meeting here about 3 years ago, and I'm sitting in this room and I'm looking around like this would be a great venue for a Hall of Fame. We always try to do kind of unique settings. And I asked the hotel about it, and they're like, well, you may not know this, but this is the room where the famous scene with Robert De Niro from The Untouchables with the baseball bat was filmed. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate place to have it for 3 individuals who are truly untouchable. So that's why we're here. So these 3 individuals bring to the stage 120 years of distribution. Think about that for a second. 120 years together. Calling on distribution. Think about the amount of commerce they've pushed and pulled through the distribution channel over the years. Think about the lives they've touched from distribution reps that they've trained and taught and been in the car with and sold products. And most importantly, think about the patients' lives that their company's products have saved over the last several years. When you start to think about those things and you think about these individuals, it really sets the mood for tonight. They truly are, all kidding aside, untouchable in our industry. 122 years. So with that, I'd like to have Mike, Tony, and Dick please make your way up to the stage and take years of characters, to say the least. Before we start tonight, though, I would be remiss if I didn't ask the current Hall of Fame inductees that are in the room to please stand and let's give them a round of applause. Jonathan, you're not in the Hall of Fame. I appreciate you standing. Maybe for Tito's. That wasn't even in the script. That's what we did. As you can see from that group that just stood, and from the ones on stage, this is completely a popularity contest. Or their companies have spent a lot of money with us over the years. Graham's sitting in the room with us, or they've actually worked for us at some point. He nominated himself. That'd been really good if Brian was in the room. Carver, let's just say you're the popular one on stage. Last last week we were at the executive conference, and for the record, I wish Matt was here. I still believe in my heart of hearts that's the best meeting of the year for any of us. I've done so much business over the years. That meeting, I absolutely love that venue. While we were there, my good friend Jonathan Overby, who I just made fun of, I had dinner with him and a few others. And as we started on our third bottle of Justin, shocker, that's red, that's a red cab for those of you who don't know. And me shushing Jonathan for the 78th time for dropping F-bombs at an entirely too loud level in a public place. J.O. got the I love yous. Which I don't mind J.O. getting the I love yous. When Carver gets them, that's a different story. You see the size of this individual? Since I told him he was in the Hall of Fame, I promise you he's kissed me no less than 100 times. Anyways, J.O. gets the I love yous, and he decides that he wants to give a toast. And only the way he can, he made a comment that I genuinely think everybody in the room that's been in the industry for a little bit of time would agree with. He raised his glass and he said, "Here's to working with friends in the most amazing industry in the world." I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more with him. We really do work in an amazing industry. I personally have made some of my best friends in life, and they're all in here. About 2 or 3 years ago, Tony and Cindy and I wasn't going to tell this story, but Tony and Cindy and I were sitting at Rippy's in Nashville, Tennessee in the afternoon. Those two had about 4 pitchers of margaritas. And we are a drinking industry for those who aren't in the industry. They started talking about, I don't know that I can ever leave the industry. My best friends in life are in the industry. I truly, truly believe that. And I'm so thankful that you guys are all here and for the folks that aren't here. All right. Enough being nice. Now it's time to be a jackass. Yes, I am. We just applauded some individuals who are already in the Hall of Fame. And I gotta say, it's made some amazing changes and done some amazing things to the industry and to their lives personally. And I'd like to give a few examples. The first one is Brian Taylor, who's, like I said before, not here. Brian comes into the office more today than he did the last 5 years combined, which is about 3 times a quarter, and it's usually to get a check. About 2 weeks ago, he comes in the office, and he has a briefcase. I can't make this up. Richard immediately goes, "Why in Jonathan Overby do you have a briefcase?" To which Brian says, "There's Skittles in there." For Miss Uhas, since she went in the Hall of Fame, she's not drinking anymore. She's not drinking any less either. And for my man, Mr. Rob Sarin, he's stopped following one of his 3 rules at all meetings, which is, I promise you when this bar closes, you will see him at the bar downstairs. To Bill Allen, who I don't know very well, but he went into the Hall of Fame in 2008. Apparently he bought another country last month, so he's still staying busy. And to my good friend Mr. McLaughlin in the back left over here, who retired, no one is counting my mentions of NDC and repertoire anymore. Unless you are, Junior. Where are you? You're not, are you? And last but not least, I can't leave out my man Yates. Oh, wait. Yates, you be in just a second. Hang on. I forgot about these two. Last week I was talking to Sue Moorman, and it's been a big change for John since he's been in the Hall of Fame. Sue told me he actually walks to happy hour at the Sherwood family. She said you're yet to walk home, but you do get there. It's baby steps, buddy. You're good. And then Mr. Kinnett, who I played golf with at the executive conference last week. I'm so thankful for the lavender tonight. It's helped me relax completely. But as hard as I've tried, I can't find anything you're doing better. It's all still mediocre. You're so young compared to the rest of them. You got plenty of time. You just keep working at it, buddy. Now to my man Yates. Apparently Yates, the rumor is around the industry that Yates is still keeping the brutal pace that he did in his work life, which is up by Wendy and asleep by Oprah. Keep burning the midnight oil, buddy. Now on to the roast. In an effort to try to put on a good event where I have no employees with me, so it's probably going to be a disaster, I thought it might be a good idea to get these three together once or twice on the phone or via GoToMeeting and just kind of walk through the agenda. So I sent out a note to all of them and I said, and before I say that, I mean, look at the three of them, they scream technology. My first attempt was a GoToMeeting, to which you guys from Gojo will appreciate this. Carver sends me a note and says, all right, but you're going to have to let me expense that airfare to come down there. Probably not going to do a GoToMeeting with you three. So I thought, pretty simple, these guys have all been on a conference call in their life, so I sent out an 877 number to the group. Mr. Moorman sends back, if it ain't an 800 number, you're going to have to call me direct. Yeah. So I thought the easiest thing might be just send them a simple PowerPoint. They've all delivered them in sales meetings for years and bored the rest of us to death. So I sent them a PowerPoint. Literally 3 days later, and I can't make this up, Malero sends back, he goes, how do I open this on my BlackBerry? Hence, tonight will be by the seat of our pants. With that, Danny, I'd like you to go ahead and come up. I want to say a couple of words as you're coming up. I thought it might be nice to give you guys some reference to who these individuals are, and the way I decided to do that tonight, and as genuine as I can, was to tell you their reaction when I called them on the phone about 8 months ago to tell them they were going into the Hall of Fame. And so Dick Moorman was the first person I called. When I told Moorman that he was going into the Hall of Fame, and these are his words exactly, he said, I'm not one to be speechless, but this has me at a complete loss for words. I can't thank you enough. Mr. Dick Moorman. Denny, he's all yours.
You got to realize that wasn't a picture when he was hired. He looked a lot younger than that. Before we get into talking about Dick, I do want to bring something up about John Moran. I asked him if he wanted to go first since I drew the short straw and he could get to bed earlier. And he said, no, that's all right. I slept 12 hours last night. I do have to tell a little story. I don't know if John remembers this or not, but we were doing a meeting. It was either in Reno or Tahoe. Remember, John? And it was manufacturers there, and distributors would send their salespeople for training. And Welch Allen was there. Welch Allen was there, and Denmark was there, and so forth. And we had a OB-GYN chair that we come out with. Why, I don't know, but we had it. And it did not have stirrups, it had leg supports on it. So our theme was burying the stirrups. I had a casket there, I had candles, I had church music, and I borrowed the priest outfit from our local priest. Okay? Thank you. And I had the collar, and this was like 25 years ago. And we do the meeting all day, and we're walking back to the hotel, and John's walking with me. Now, John's a big Catholic boy, goes to Xavier and so forth, and I'm Catholic. And why I ever did this to this day, I don't know. But this old couple come walking by, and they're about my age, and they looked at me and said, "Good afternoon, Father." And I looked at them and I said, "Up yours." And I looked back, and John is running to the hotel. I get back to the hotel, he said, "You crazy idiot, what are you doing?" I said, "I don't know, it just I always just wanted to do that. So they probably said, boy, Father's having a tough day. Now, Dick asked me if I would introduce him at the Hall of Fame night. It was the greatest honor I could get from a great guy. But more I thought about it, Dick's going into the Hall of Fame, and I'm going with him. And all of you are going with him. Because Dick never used the word I. It's always we or about the team. He hated the word I. I sent a letter out to a distributor one time. We had to copy Dick Moorman. About 3 days later, I got a copy of it. There were 16 I's on there, crossed out in red. He called me up. Don't ever use the word I. So he taught me a good lesson there. Also, congratulations to Mike and Tony when you're going into the Hall of Fame. Midmark's a great company. We were very fortunate to work for them. I was. I can't get fired anymore because I'm retired. So if I screw this up tonight, I'll get through it. Dick, you're still working though. Dick and I would talk quite a bit back and forth when we were working together. And, when a company grows, you're going to make some mistakes. And Dick and I could never understand some of the things we thought were dumb that they were doing. And there was about 3 or 4 things. First of all, we were IE. They changed the name to Midmark. And we thought, God, IE is so easy to remember and spell. A lot easier than Midmark. I don't know why they changed to Midmark. Then before we were strictly medical and dental and everything, they built trenchers. And I think it was the first trencher they built. Pretty thing. They had a brown pickup truck with Midmark on the side and a nice dual axle trailer, and they put that yellow trencher on it. And the salesman was heading from Minnesota to show it to a distributor. Got to Minnesota, stayed at a Holiday Inn, got up the next morning, no truck, no trailer, no trencher. They looked all over for it and couldn't find it. They even went back in May when the snow melted, it still wasn't there. So, and that's the one I know they got rid of, but they tried to consider that a sale. Remember when they discontinued the ENT chair? Boy, we thought that was a dumb move. I sold about 7 every year. Never had to demo it. Just people would buy it. And then we had the OB-GYN chair, which we talked about, which a lady would set in, it would tilt back, and she put her legs into leg supports, and lights would come on. And for you women, you never had to scoot forward again in your life. And if you've never seen one, want to see one, we can dig it up in my backyard. The last one we buried in my yard. Was you there? All right. Okay, getting back to the main thing here with Dick. When I first called Dick, he said, oh, you got a half hour to talk. Well, then a little later, I prepared all this talk, and then Scott and Anna, I emailed Anna, and she said, I'd like to keep it to 12 minutes. 12 minutes. And then last week we had a conference call, 7 minutes. I said, 7 minutes? Holy cow. I got to have longer than that. So I'll compromise between 15 and 20. And I do want to So Scott, if you pull me off, this is going with it. Very good, Scott, very good. All right, I'm going to skip around a little bit here, but I told you Denmark did some crazy things and dumb things, and I thought, and Dick thought. But in 1975, they hired Dick Moorman. And, they put him in the factory. And I'm out on the road selling, Dick's in the factory. And I've got 6 months of experience on him. And I noticed our quality control's going down a little bit. We were selling 75 tables, and they were leaking some oil. So I called at that time Kitzmiller and said, "You got to get Moorman out of there. Maybe he could be a salesman." And Kit said, "Okay, you've been out there for a year now. I'm gonna have him travel with you for a couple of weeks." Okay, that's fine. So on Monday morning, I picked Dick up about 4 o'clock, wasn't it, Dick? And Dick comes walking out, and he said, "Man, this is early." I said, "This ain't no day camp for rich, kid. Get in." And we headed to Detroit. And Dick said, "Oh, this is a company car." I said, "Yeah. Oh, you get a company car as a salesman. That's nice. You got an expense account?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, that's good. Where are we eating at tonight?" I said, "Well, I don't know. I really didn't know, but I wasn't going to tell him." And so we went up to Detroit. We made calls, and it was about 6 o'clock and time for dinner. So right at the hotel we were staying, there was a Kmart right across the street. Well, Dick didn't know it, but 76 World Series was going on, and the Cincinnati Reds were in it, and I was going to watch that game. They didn't have sports bars back then. So I pulled into Kmart. Dick said, what are we doing in the Kmart? I said, "Getting dinner." Now, if you think about it, Kmart was way ahead of Subway. They had these big sandwiches, Subways, and I got Dick one, I got one. I told him to get a 12-pack of beer, pick up some chips, and I'll get the peanuts. And we went back to the room, and that was Dick's dinner. But he didn't complain, so I figured he's going to be good and got a chance to make it. So after 2 weeks of my training, they sent him to Atlanta, Georgia. And they just got married. In fact, Linda and Dick were married 41 years, April 3rd, which was Monday. Stand up, Linda. And because of that, they had Josh and Amanda, their children. So they sent Dick to Atlanta right after they just got married. They drive 2 vehicles to Atlanta. Dick's got 10 states he's covering. He's out there about 6 months. He comes back and he said, "Holy cow, I've driven 80,000 miles in 6 months." I said, you got to stop and sell something. You get paid in sales, not miles. Dick then, we went back out for another 6 months, comes back, and Dick's sort of frowning. And I said, "What's wrong?" He said, they won't listen to me. I said, "Who won't listen to you?" "The dirt fill hours and that. They got these salesmen that are 50 and 60 years old. And I'm 21, 22. I'm trying to tell them how to sell." And so we spent a half a day at our national sales meeting trying to figure out how to make Dick Moorman look older. And this is a true story. And we all wrote down ideas, come up with ideas. And I I thought this was a good idea, so it wasn't mine. But anyway, we said grow a mustache. That will make you look older. We thought we had it. Dick said, I don't shave. He looked like a little kid in high school. But he kept at it, and he started getting some sales and not driving as much. And that was in 75, 76. In 1981, they made him a regional manager. In 1995, he became the national sales manager. And I remember when we were traveling together, going to Detroit, I said, oh, college boy, I bet you want to be a manager someday, don't you? And Dick said, yeah, I want to go up the ladder. I want to be a manager. And I can't say the words I said, but I'll change it a little bit. But I said, Dick, just remember one thing. You ever become a manager, don't mess with me. But that mess was a different word. In 1995, he became national sales manager. In 1998, he was promoted to vice president of sales. And in 2114, his current position, he is vice president of distribution relations. So, I got a little more. Who are you? We pay extra. I said, I saw in my room it had a 12 o'clock checkout. Dick, please? Okay. All right, that's good. One of the distributors said that Dick isn't tight, but he's frugal with the mid-mark money. He spends it like it's going to be his inheritance. And I can vouch for that in a couple of ways. After he was traveling for a couple of years, I said, Dick, how's Linda take to your traveling? You're gone a week at a time? Oh, not a problem. I make sure we go out and eat twice on the weekend. And last thing a salesman wants to do when you travel all week is go out and eat, especially at Kmart. But you don't want to go out and eat. You want a home-cooked meal. And I said, really? You go out twice? Yeah, she goes on Saturday and I go on Sunday. So he's saving money there. And the other thing, they have a big Oktoberfest in Minster, Ohio. And I saw Dick walking down the street holding Linda's hand one time. And I said, Dick, that's pretty neat. You've been married for 10 years. You still hold hands? He said, I have to. If I let go, she'll go shop. Now, if he was buying a shotgun, and there was 2 shotguns, and the salesman told him, you buy this one, it's $500 more, but it'll kill you one more duck a year, he'd buy it, wouldn't you? Yeah. I called probably 30 salespeople and managers, and they all, every one of them, basically made Dick to be a little choir boy. I couldn't get anything bad out of them. They didn't have anything bad. There was a few things. Dick, if you ever go to Florida, eat chobe fish. That's the best fish there is, but I hear they're hard to catch. That's an inside. So I just wrote down a couple things I want to say, and I promise I'll give it back to you, Scott. You okay? You got to go to the restroom or anything? Okay? Huh? Brant, he's awake. Dick, well, I had a coat I was going to have you put on, but I'm that. You as Vince Lombardi basically said, winners is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. You definitely are a winner all the way through. I talked to a small distributor that said, Dick treated me like I was one of the big guys. You just don't get that today from a manufacturer. He's honorable, he's honest, he's a straight up guy, truly involved and cares. Dick, one distributor told me, you really know how to hold a meeting, especially in New Orleans. You're probably wondering, as you accept this award, what it's going to cost you. And he said he would hope Dick would be buying drinks later this evening. He's the best straight-laced trainer, best of the best, and lapper. And Dick taught us to use lapper, listen, acknowledge, probe, respond. And I don't know if you know it, but Dick and Josh also do dogs. They train dogs. Dick's got 2 dogs in the Hall of Fame. I can lie and say this is one of them, but it isn't. But that is the extra duck that he got with that shotgun. Now, Dick not only used lapper on us, thank God he didn't put a shock collar on us, but he uses lapper, they use lapper on their dogs. But he just changes the words a little bit to listen, attention, poop, and retrieve. And use the lapper on dogs. I'm not done, Scott. I'm not done. Oh, I got an old page here on this. This is just a couple things that came from sales reps. Dick is true a sales professional and dedicated leader. He's always helping us to improve our sales strategies and would truly take a bullet for one of his guys. He is the definition of a legend in the healthcare industry, and his legacy is permanently written in the Mid-March Playbook. Dick is the best salesperson I have ever met. I want to know who this guy is. Personally, seeing him at shows, there's not an objection that he could not handle, nor a customer he could not charm. Under Dick's great leadership, the company grew to amazing heights and had special knack to get the most out of the people. A major respect for Dick Moorman. These go on and on. Everything is basically verbatim from sales reps I talk to and from managers I talk to. And the last thing I'd like to say, the thing I remember most about Dick Moorman is through different managers, changes, Dick held our sales force together. At Midmark, we're like a fraternity, a ball team, all pulling in one direction. He had our backs. I love him like a brother. The one thing that I did get comments on, Dick, if you're going to stay in the industry, please learn another song instead of Mustang Sally.
Up here for you and Dick later. You know the definition of a microphone is you don't have to talk in it. Both of you get the mic after you. For me, Dick Moorman is the backbone of our industry. I say these words with all my heart. He's always steady. He always speaks his mind. As I wrote my publisher's letter a few months ago, he's the reason I changed my tagline. Because he shared with me, we're all in this together, not one or the other. With that, I'd like to have Dick Moorman come up and give a rebuttal. Thank you.
I will learn another song. What a room. Yeah, what do you say? First of all, I'd like to congratulate our Excellence in Sales Award winners, Victor Bakar, Pat Jones. Sales awards are on the top of my list, always have been, because I am of the belief that nothing happens until something is sold. And for Mike and Tony, man, I could not be up here in better company. Congratulations to you guys. Well deserved for sure. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. To Scott Adams and his, Share Moving Media team, or I should say Scott Adams. Without the team, I mean, really, thanks for creating, such a wonderful award. Honor people in our industry in such a fabulous venue. I mean, this is unbelievable. So thank you, Scott. I mean, it's really an honor to be standing here in front of all of you today. Peers in the industry. It's just an amazing place to be. And Denny, for your comments. Thank you. I know it's like when I asked you, go, yeah, I'll do it, and then it's, oh shit, I got to do it, right? So thank you so much. I mean, Denny and I go back a long way, as you can tell. And he started at I Industries. It was 4 months before I did. He started in April, and I started in July. So with his vast experience, Denny became my trainer, mentor, and he kind of started me getting me on this path where I am here today. I also believe, I'm pretty sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Scotty, but Denny Moorman was the first Excellence in Sales Award winner of Hideout ever. Denny Moorman. But I learned a lot from Denny. I mean, I really, truly did in those early years. Even though we had no formal training program, Denny taught me the law of supply and demand and pricing strategies at a very, very early age. In the 7th grade, selling illegal fireworks hidden in the potato chip cans of the milk truck to 6- and 7-year-old kids. I mean, it taught me that price was no object. If you had something that somebody wanted and they couldn't get, they would pay through the teeth for it, through it. And so I remember, and you remember, 100 kids on bicycles chasing our milk trucks because they knew Denny Moorman had the fireworks in the potato chip can. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Denny would collect the money and I would pass out the fireworks, and as always as a manager, Denny would say, hurry up before the cops get here. All right, okay, so let's a couple of more. You may be too nice to me. I actually, in the 7th grade, really learned some culture. Okay? It was an appreciation of poetry. Oh yeah, 7th grade. Danny, do you remember? Old King Cole was a merry old soul with a buckskin belly and a rubber. I'll let you know. Yeah. Or this classic. She looked so fair in the cold night air as the wind blew up her nightie. I can't finish it. One of these public venues, but you got the impact you had on me in 7th grade. Sticking with me to this today. What a trainer I had. All right, the importance of having fun. One last one, and then we'll move on. Denny, remember the first call you took me on? the first podiatrist, he said, we were going to call this podiatrist. This was in Michigan, I think. And so anyway, I said, well, yeah, okay, well, let's go. So we walk in the back door of this place. And I walk in, it's real dark. And I'm going, this is different. And the music starts. And it had to be a podiatrist's office because all the women had on was shoes. And how they ever danced on the ceiling, I still, upside down, it stuck with me for 42 years. It's a hell of a test. I still have a very fond affection for podiatrists. All right, but I digress sometimes. Denny has meant a lot to me over the years. He truly has. He means a great deal to me today. He's always been the guy who's got the common sense. The guy who can take the complicated and break it down to simple, make you see it real easily. He's a mentor to me and a true friend. So thank you, Denny, for sure. Many various industries, Hall of Fame awards are given to people who are either like dead or retired. And I'm happy to say I don't fit either one of those categories. Right? But if I were dead, at least here in Chicago, I could still vote. If I was a Democrat. All right, okay. That's good. Yeah, okay, all right. All right, so those of you who know me here in the room know that I can have a dry sense of humor or have a witty comeback or whatever, but honestly tonight, I don't feel like real funny or real humorous. This honor is something that is special, that I take very seriously and I cherish. When I look at the names of the people that are in this Hall of Fame with us, I can't help but wonder, do I really belong walking the halls with the likes of Jim Stover, Dwight Titus, Pat Kelly, Bob Barnes, George Flowers, John Sassy, the Allen Boys, Don Kitzmiller, Scott Fanning, Cindy Uhas, Bill McKnight, Max Goodlow, Carl Bays, Bill McLaughlin, Yates Ferris, Brad Knapp, Brian Taylor, Rob Sharon, Ted Allman, John Moran, and more. I don't know, it's humbling. These are all people that I have either worked with, called on, but they're all people who have given me much more than I've ever given them. So it's a special place. So, tonight I'm humbled. I'm very grateful. I feel so thankful to so many who have gotten me here. This isn't about me. There's so many here that have taught me. Here I go. Who have taught me to support me along the way. I feel the need to thank so many, but I know after Denny, I got to shorten this up. Scott's gonna. There are hundreds of people here who have made this possible. And, Scott's got to give the hook to somebody. It might as well be me. That being said, I can't let this go. There's one who I really have to thank. This person, like Denny Mott, has been with me, supporting me. Damn. I got to get through this. And coached me from the start. This person has always been the voice of reason. This person was, without a doubt, was the best manager I've ever had. This person would always cheer me on when things were good, and cheer me up when things weren't so good. Many have never met this person, yet she is the single best reason I am here tonight on this stage to accept such a high honor. I love her dearly. It's my wife. And, I'm sorry, folks. I can't help it. It's emotional. I can't help it. But I really got to thank Midmark for so many things. You know, tonight, I have my wife Linda, my son Josh, my daughter Amanda here with me. I mean, it just speaks volumes about this company that I belong to. So Mike, John, Cheryl, all you guys, you know, thank you for making that happen. Thanks. It's special. Can't appreciate that enough. All right, if I could call out just a few who have been instrumental to my success along the way. First, above all, I thank God. There had to be some kind of divine intervention to allow me to live long enough to be hired by someone. Literally. My mom, God rest her soul, would always say to me, Dick, my job is to get you to live until you're 18. And then the rest is up to you. Well, Mom, Dad, you did it. Here I am. So thank you. Thank you for the picture. All right, so Jim Heidi, for teaching me to always be curious. Most curious man I've ever met. And Adi Clamar, for teaching me the need for humility and great success. Don Kitzmiller, for teaching me showmanship and the importance of not only what you present, but how you present it. Scott Fanning, who most of you know, for creating the burning desire to always win. Play by the rules and win. But if the rules aren't necessarily the way you like them, rewrite them in your favor. But win. That is Scott all the way. Jack Grew, maybe some of you know him, maybe you don't, but Jack was instrumental. He taught me the science of sales. And there is a true science to it. Jack's teaching were life-changing for me. And he, to this day, is still a great mentor to me. I love talking to Jack. And the Midmark Medical Sales and Leadership Team. Man, many of whom are here tonight. You know, Denny, Rogers, Gerard, Jerry, John, Kuna, Matt. I mean, I can't say enough about the team. A team that, no matter the challenge, laced up their boots and walked through walls with me. We created a real affection within that team. I'm not talking about just a popularity, but it was a true affection. That when the things got tough, the team all hung together. They stuck together and had each other's backs. I love you guys and girls so much. I can't say it enough. And thanks. You're the reason I'm up here, there's no doubt. And then to the many in this industry here. Man, I've had the pleasure of working with so many terrific people. You can't name them all, but manufacturer and distributor alike, you've given me so much more than I've ever given to this industry. And to all of you in here, I say a very sincere thank you. And then one last thing here is, most of us in this room are leaders in some way, shape, or form. We lead people. And as leaders, I heard a quote from General Mad Dog Mattis. You can tell which way I lean a little bit. That I thought was apropos. And it goes something like this. He says, you must believe you have to improve if you're going to lead. Your team expects you to be the best at everything. to be the best, you must stay teachable. And I know after 42 years in this industry, I have a lot to learn. So thank you all very much.
It's tradition, once the rebuttal is given, is to present their plaque, and this will go on the wall at the offices of Share Movement Media with the other plaques and all the names that Dick Moorman announced tonight. So with that, I'm going to read what this says. I apologize in advance for my reading skills. I grew up in the public school system in Florida. Sorry. Dick Moorman might have been born for sales. As a kid, he sold melons and then night crawlers for his kosher wagon in Minster, Ohio. In middle school, he sold milk and juice at Minster Machine on behalf of Myers Dairy. After graduating from Miami of Ohio, he joined IE Industries, later Midmark, and rose within the company, eventually to be named Vice President of Distribution Relations. He credits Jack Carew for IE sales training, for teaching him the science of sales, and he passed Carew's knowledge on to hundreds of distribution reps through Midmark's power meetings. He considers himself lucky to be part of an industry that truly makes a difference in people's lives. Mr. Dick Moorman.